Hello everyone and welcome back to English Entry. Today we begin our analysis of the beautiful novella Bringing Tony Home by Tissa Abeysekera. We'll be focusing on the very first paragraph found in the first movement, the sunset. Our goal is to explore how the author masterfully sets the scene for the entire story through narration, context, and literary techniques. Let's start with the narrative voice. The story is written in first person. This is immediately proven by the use of pronouns like I and my. The speaker is the unnamed narrator, though we strongly feel his voice is that of the author, Tissa Abeysekera himself. By using this perspective, we are not just being told a story, we are being invited to see the world through his eyes, to see the world through his memories. The narrator's tone also very significant here. It is immediately established as reflective, nostalgic, and deeply observant. So let's break down these three big ideas or the terms. The narrator is in a deep, thoughtful state of mind. He is anchored in a specific present day, an evening in March 1996. However, his mind is not in the present. He is looking back, reflecting on a specific period of time, somewhere around November through February, which he reflects as that duration. He sees the world through memory, cross-cutting between past and reality. And also, his tone sets the scene with a feeling of nostalgia. He's experiencing an affectionate longing for the past. The mentioning of landmarks and referring back to time from November through February proves he is sentimentally appreciating a time long gone. Now, let's see how keenly observant is this narrator. Look, look, look at how he describes the world. He doesn't just factually say the sun was setting. See, he mentions the sun was still big and red, it dipped over the skyline, glimpses of a red sky. He describes the coloring of sun and the minute details of both natural and artificial elements in the environment. So the narrator sees the world like a movie director, noticing lighting, colors, and any tiny detail. So this meticulous expression observation reveals a personal trait of a filmmaker, a professional trait of a filmmaker. Although it is not mentioned that he is a filmmaker in this particular paragraph, this paragraph sets the scene to build that character. Okay. Now, let's see the specific places and objects he mentions within this paragraph. They are Television Training Institute premises, Independence Square, fir trees, old race courses. These aren't just random places. They are important symbols from his past. Let's trace back in time with him to find them. As we can see, the places he mentions, like the old race course and fir trees, were left behind by the British. So they are symbols of colonial time. So I will show it here for you to understand it. Colonial symbols. And then after the independence, then Ceylon was going through a huge changes. The Independence Square Television Training Institute traced back to post-colonial time. Post-colonial symbols. Okay. let me remind you a fact. You might have heard about this. Uh, the British heavily reshaped the island's landscape culture during their rule between 1815 to 1948 to make parts of the country feel like a home, away from home. Still, we can see England-like places around Sri Lanka, made by British those days to make them feel like their home, like England. So, mentioning of old race course and fir trees still shapes how the narrator should see the present. Then, after the independence, it was a period defined by the transition from colonial British to British rule to urbanization and societal changes. The use of Television Training Institute, Independence Square, suggests this post-colonial changing. So, as you can see, we can notice in this paragraph both colonial and post-colonial symbols have been mixedly used to show how people absorbed British influence and how eventually it led to build hybrid identities or mixed cultures, mixed identities. As we later further dig into further grounds to identify these hybrid identities and mixed cultural patterns from the characters and scenes in this story, we will find them very clearly. We will understand this concept very clearly. So now let us see how nature reflects these thematic concerns. The writer uses the techniques like visual imagery, similes, of glimpses of red big skyfall trees to create a picture of changing nature. And also the concept of twilight, the transitional period between day and night also symbolizes the changing nature of past and present. Okay, guys. So, believe it or not, this first paragraph already introduces the three big themes of the whole book. I will mention them one by one. First one is memory and nostalgia. The whole story is about looking back at the past. And the second one is loss and ending. He is remembering things that are gone, people, places, and a way of life. Finally, colonial identity. The story is about what it means to be Sri Lankan after British rule. So, even the title of the section, The Sunset, tells us something. Sunset can symbolize the end of a day, but here it can also symbolize the end of the past gone era and the beginning of the present. So, as you can see, the writer is a genius. In just one paragraph, he has already told us who the narrator is, what he is feeling, where he is, and what the entire story is going to be about. He sets the scene so well that we already understand the main ideas before the story even really begins. I hope you enjoyed my session on introduction to Bringing and the analysis of the first para. So let's move on to the context questions part. designed targeting GCE O-level examination. Here I've taken this very same paragraph and I've prepared for context sections like this, as you can see in the screen. Yeah, I hope you would answer these questions successfully after listening to my analysis, the intro. So let's get back with another quotation analysis of this novella with another video. Okay, before winding up, I invite you all to comment below your own interpretation to this paragraph. Then have a good day.